Hi there. Welcome to another monthly lottery reading. I'm going to pull one name out of this bowl, and whoever's name it is on the piece of paper is going to receive a reading from me. So, if you're interested in joining this lottery process, and if you'd like to be participating in the next lottery, all you need to do is check out my website or Patreon. You can only enter at the very basic level on Patreon, at the $2 level, which is a single entry. But on my website, you can start to spice things up a little bit, where you can enter at the $4 level, for example, for a double entry, $9, and for the triple entry, where you also receive a written reading each month, and the $15 level, where again you have a triple chance, and you also receive a 5 to 7 minute video every month, as long as you are subscribed on that level. So make sure to check out the description if this is something that sounds appealing to you. And without any further ado, we're going to see who the winner of this month's lottery is. And it's Meagan. Meagan? I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's Meagan. But please feel free to correct me. And let's get into your reading, Meagan. So, Meagan and everybody else who is hanging out with us, welcome. This is going to be a past, present, and future reading. This is one of my old school reading types, and it is to be found in the bronze tier on my website if you're interested in receiving this reading. It's about determining where you're coming from and where you're going. So it's basically a snapshot of where you are right now, energetically, with consideration of the relevant past. So this could be recent past, most often it is, but it can also be past, so from further back. But in each case, it is relevant to the present. It's modifying, it's flavoring the present moment. And the future is what type of influences are coming in the near future. So Meagan, we're going to look at that. And I'm going to give the cards a little bit of a shuffle. And we're going to start by establishing the past influence. So we're interested in seeing a kind of a process unfold here, to see the tendency. And now let's look at the present and also the future. So I'm actually going to turn these cards around, because that way you can see it chronologically, although I have my doubts whether time is really linear and chronological, but that's a different story. but we're used to seeing it this way: past, present, future. All right, so let's have a look. The past card is determined by the Five of Cups. This one is called disappointment. The present is the Hierophant, the Major Arcana card. And the future is the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands in the traditional tarot. So, what are we looking at here? We have the Five of Cups, a water-based card in the past position, a Major Arcana card, the Hierophant in the present, and a fire-based card, the Son of Wands or the Knight of Wands, depicted by an image of Krishna, the Hindu god. And this is quite a diverse process. Your starting point in the past is some type of trauma, some type of disappointment that sets you off. So the Five of Cups is about coming to terms with loss, experiencing the emotional pain and suffering of losing something emotionally significant. It's the burden of being a human being with emotions that are easily triggered, having a path that inevitably involves tragedies and unfortunate events where you disconnect from others or lose other people. And so the past position is very strongly indicating here that some past hurt, potentially from the recent past, because often when I see this card in the past position, what happens is that there's a recent event that sort of piles on top of old and buried trauma, reactivating it, bringing it back to the surface. So the inevitable and very unpleasant reality of having to say goodbye to emotionally significant things, people, and situations. That's the Five of Cups' spirit, and that's the undertone of your present, which the present moment seems to be ruled by the Hierophant. So notice how this is number 5 as well. So we have 5 of Cups, and this is number 5 of the Major Arcana. So what we have with the Hierophant is a kind of an intelligent answer to pain. The Hierophant reacts with thorough consideration, great caution, and a heavy reliance on tradition. So the irrationality of emotions and the heaviness of pain that is indicated by the Five of Cups is channeled into these meticulously supervised and controlled structures under the aegis of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is really trying to make sense of reality by following the rules and traditions and frameworks that pre-existed his time. So the Hierophant is the maintainer and the cultivator of old traditions. So what you're finding in the present moment is that you're feeling reinforced by, and you are gravitating towards traditional explanations. And there's a conservativeness to the Hierophant that is very soothing to the turbulence and the disorganization that the Five of Cups brings in. So you're very settled in the present moment. The Five of Cups may have rattled you, but you have found a way, relying on collective wisdom, or perhaps wisdom of your elders, or wisdom of some sort of spiritual tradition. You've found a way to anchor yourself in reality. But the thing about the Hierophant is that it's very limiting. So this is not going to last for a long time. It's very soothing and very informative for the time being. But this is going to fade. And Krishna, the Knight of Wands in the future position, is bringing in a reawakening of your fire. So there might be a numbing effect to the Five of Cups that is causing you to be more cautious and more of a rule follower and more of a conformist for the time being, because the Five of Cups destabilized you and you are now looking for stability. And this can also, the Hierophant can also refer to personal tradition. So it can indicate that you're seeking a safe haven in the rigidity of your own habits or of your own traditions. At any rate, this is going to be destabilized again, but this time the form, the shape of your existence is going to break up in a different way, in a more creative way. And so it's almost as though there's this ebb and flow, this waviness to this process, where from an emotional low point, you're headed towards euphoria and a rediscovery of your power. But this is all happening through the alchemical agent of the Hierophant. So where you are right now, your attempts to stabilize yourself on your path, it's all well and good. But the future is going to bring an increased desire to get back in the game, so to say, a desire to be creative again, desire to be playful again, to be cheeky and a risk taker, to be more impulsive, more spontaneous, to break the rules rather than to follow them. So there's a contrast here between the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. So let me just pull one more card to see if the cards would like to give you some advice on your path. And here we have the Two of Wands. All right. So the Two of Wands, which is obviously correlating with the Knight of Wands, this is also a fire-based card. This is urging you to move as quickly as you can towards the Knight of Wands state. Do not at any, by any, or for any reason, do not get stuck in the Hierophant's paradigm. It might be kind of tempting to want to seek out a comforting, simple or simplistic, a reductionist space where you know who you are, you know what to do, you know what everything is. That's what the Hierophant gives you. It gives you the security of simplicity, of these almost Euclidean concepts of what a person is and what category the experience is that you're going through. Now, the Two of Wands breaks all of that apart, and it introduces chaos. It introduces the element of surprise. And it's raw energy, it's brute force. And it's asking you to respect your body's and your spirit's willingness to move forward. So just because it would seem more appropriate or more wise to linger with the Hierophant, the Two of Wands is asking you to move towards the active rather than staying with the theoretical and the emotional. So actions are what really matter here. And this is the direction that is going to ultimately lead you towards more freedom, more creativity, and more healing. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Meagan. And thank you for supporting my channel, and thank you to everybody else for doing so as well. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. If you'd like to book a reading with me, check out my website. And see you next time. Bye-bye.